Retro. Retro.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 184. Back in the building tonight. Before we even get started, I want to welcome back returning guest OG to the podcast, Mario. Let's give Mario a little Don DeMarco for joining us in the building tonight. Mario, what's up, brother?
What's up, bro? How are you, man? What's up, Locked In Nation?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. What's this? I haven't played sound effects on here in like a minute, so like I'm like let me join some sound effects here for tonight, man. And thanks everybody else.
Kind of why.
Yeah, man. Thanks everybody else who's watching. I can see we got some viewers in here already, so thanks for viewing, guys. You know, I can always see on YouTube, but I always still monitor the Facebook pages because we are still streaming to them. Unfortunately, I can't put comments on Facebook on the screen, but YouTube comments can go right on the screen. But I'll still address any Facebook comments. And what are we talking about tonight, man? Wow. We're talking about some finance here tonight. We're just talking about, honestly, the skyrocketed cost of living right now is just absolutely murdering the middle class. There's a lot of crazy shit that's going on that I'm seeing like throughout, like, and this also affects like the purchasing power of a lot of people. A lot of people out here inflating their lifestyle because of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about consumer debt. We'll talk about car payments, which I heard like what the average car payments are going for right now. It's absolutely crazy. I'm going to try to post some things maybe from TikTok and stuff. The only thing is we'll see how YouTube reacts with that. I got to kind of keep them quick, just like quick little clips and stuff, because I don't want to have any copyright things, but I'll try to put that in here tonight just so you guys can kind of see specifically surrounding the car payments and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's crazy out here. The middle class is absolutely struggling. It's almost like at this point, like middle class is becoming the new lower class. You know, it's tough out here, and inflation is killing everybody.
Yeah, no, definitely tough times that we're living in. If we're not already in a recession, we're probably going to be headed for one, especially now that I'm hearing that the Feds might, decrease the interest rates or whatever the case may be. They might do a rate hike. I'm sorry, a rate cut. Yeah, mortgages are through the roof. Rent prices are through the roof. Car payments are out the ass. It's just not really, really good time economically right now in the country.
Yeah, it really isn't, man. I'm just seeing like what the prices like groceries we're going for, and I'll actually try to pull up some statistics of like how much things have changed. But that I think is hitting people's pockets. One of the biggest things is grocery prices, especially if you have a family. The more kids you have in your family, the more that you're going to take that hit. But rates and everything, it's like you said, man, housing, it doesn't just have to be food and groceries, but just almost anything. You go to the store, you're purchasing, it's like there's rate hikes. I don't care if you're going to Home Depot, Lowe's, the grocery store, everything's going up. And also I will say, I have done some research on home rates as of late, and they do seem to be a little bit decreasing compared to where they were at earlier points in the summer. But, still they're much higher than if you were to buy a house back in 2020. You know what I mean? It's a lot different. And I think the last time the interest rates were very low was like around January of 21, December of 2020. And then after that, everything kind of just went up gradually, just kept going. And I don't know if we're ever going to see those low rates that we saw back then again. If we do, it's probably going to take a very long time. Like you said, I don't think we're at a recession yet, but I do have the utter feeling that like something's going to happen. And a lot of people that, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have any type of inside knowledge or anything, but I do know some people that do work in finance with like economics and stuff like that. And from what I've heard, and I've heard this going back as early as 2 years ago, that we were headed for a recession. So if we're not, like you said, if we're not already there yet, we're definitely, it feels like headed for one. Jobs have also been a little scarce. Things, I'm not sure I believe when they said they created a bunch of new jobs. I'm not quite sure I believe that, because I have been hearing that jobs are a little scarce these days. And I don't know, man. It's just a tough time overall. But we're also going to talk about how it also does not help that people tend to overinflate their life as well. I understand emergencies and things happen, but a lot of people fund their life through credit cards, which is a serious problem because interest rates on credit cards are very high. You're lucky if you get a 15% interest rate on a credit card. A lot of them are 29.99% APR on a lot of credit cards that you're paying. So if you're funding your life through a credit card, the interest rates, if you're not paying those balances down every single month, are very high. And I understand, man, if you're not in a good financial spot, people tend to sometimes rely on credit cards. It becomes a problem. But that's kind of where we're at. Some people also just do stupid spending to keep up with the Joneses. They're trying to keep up with the next person. And that's very unfortunate. I was actually just having a conversation with two separate people on two separate phone calls earlier today about this. And card debt is ridiculously through the roof too. And I'm sorry, card debt is stupidity, because if you're deciding to have, you're going to hear, like, you're probably going to be a little shocked when you hear what the average car rate is nowadays, what the monthly payment is on the average Americans car today is insane, mind-boggling to me. But car debt is like, I'm sorry, if you got $1,000 car payment, if you can't afford it, here's the thing: if you can afford it, cool. But I'm gonna be honest, most people that can afford those types of loan payments, I'm assuming, probably are not gonna have $1,000 car payment. They probably can either buy it outright or they can put a lot down to cover the majority of it. But if you're literally drowning because of a car payment, that's kind of just on you. It's just stupidity at that point. Like, you're trying to drive something that you can't afford, and it can really put you underwater.
Ah, man. I mean, I agree 1,000%, man. I mean, some of these car notes are absolutely ridiculous. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, man, and there was this guy that was going around the office asking people what their car notes were, and I couldn't believe my ears. Most of the car notes were over $1,000, and the way they were saying it too, they were saying it was such a calm stuff like that. And I don't know if they want to normalize those type of car payments. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. Thankfully for me personally, I never had to deal with any of those issues. The cars that I have had, I've paid both of them. I never had to deal with any car notes. My thing is, if you can't afford to pay the car in cash, you can't afford the car at all. I would just stay away from car notes, especially now because we don't know what direction the economy is going to be in. You can have your job today and you can easily lose it tomorrow. I heard an article the other day that one of these giant tech companies, they just laid off 10,000 people, and then other companies are following suit too. So you just don't know what the future is going to hold. And I'm right there with you when you said earlier in the beginning about the government saying that, oh, we've created this amount of jobs. I don't know if I believe those reports either, man, because they overinflate those numbers. And the jobs that they've added, they don't exactly specify the types of jobs that they are and whatnot. So
Yeah,
it's
and
a
it's an
tough
election year.
situation.
And
Yeah,
it's an election year, so those things tend to happen. There's an overinflation, there's an overinflated numbers that come out. You know what I mean? Especially around these times of election years. No matter who you're voting for, it's not a political debate or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, this time of the year, it's election year, and we're 2 months away from a presidential election. These numbers tend to get inflated. So I agree with you, man. You don't know which direction the economy is going to go. If you don't have a nest egg, going the route of a finance payment is probably not the best option. And if you are, I'm going to say this, you ideally want it to be within 10 to 15 or less than this, but ideally no more than 10 to 15% of your take home income, like after taxes. You don't want it to be any more than 15%. And I would even say 15% is too high. 15% is too high for a car payment of your take home income. So most people are going to tell you between no higher than 10-15%. I would say try to even get that number closer to 10% or lower if you can, ideally. So say you're bringing home $3,500, $4,000 a month. Your car payment for $3,500 should be no more than $350 a month. $4,000 if you're bringing that home, no more than $400 a month. So people that got $1,000 car payments, it's like, okay, are you making $10,000 a month after taxes? I'm gonna be honest. Some people may. Majority of people are probably not.
no, they don't. And some of the people have said that like it's like 50% of their take home pay. I'm like,
For a
that's enough
car.
to like
For a
get a
car.
mortgage or like even pay rent or something like that. And even then, they usually said that like your mortgage or rent shouldn't be more than 30% of what your take home pay is. And
A
for
lot of
half of
lenders,
that to go to a
yeah.
car note, it's crazy.
A lot of lenders, even with a mortgage, will cap you at 44%. You have to get special circumstances to go past 44%. 44% or 43, 44% is usually where a lender will cap you. If you want to go higher than that, there's usually special circumstances that are involved. So you got to figure that 50% for a car note, that's crazy. But a lot of people just buy the hype,
No,
and
but the thing is, right, but the difference there is I don't think there's a cap on a car note like there is with the
nah,
mortgage
the
where they might
salesmen are
cap
gonna
you at
reel you
43.
in,
Like,
reel you in.
that's the thing. Like their job is to reel you in, try to, give you the best deal, quote unquote, get you in that vehicle and then boom. And then all of a sudden when you get those payments in the mail, that's when it really, really hits you.
Free advertisement here. Not all car salesmen are sleazeballs. But I want to actually give a couple shout outs to the cars people out here, man. So my boy Reagan Mema out there. I got to get Reagan's actual. So let me actually direct you. And I'm not getting paid by any means, but I always like to shout out the other people on this podcast. People are trying to make money, Let me get Reagan where Reagan's working at right now, because Reagan's actually Reagan's a very good guy. So
You're a really good dude.
yeah, so guys, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're watching, whatever, this is free advertisement for my guy Reagan out there. If you're in the market for a car and you really want something, even you don't want to break the bank or anything like that, I trust Reagan. Reagan's a good dude. Check out Reagan Mema. He's been on this podcast before over at Burlington Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. He's over in Burlington, New Jersey. Check Reagan out. He's doing a lot of good stuff with content right now on Facebook. So this is my fucking guy right there. But not all car salesmen are sleazeballs, to be honest. So I don't want to give all car salesmen a bad rap, but it is a stereotype in the industry that a lot of car salesmen will try to reel you in. So they're not going to care because they're getting the interest on it, so it's not going to matter. But there's some good ones out there. And if my guy Ray is watching, Ray actually told me he was going to tune into this too. I'm not sure if it's on Facebook or YouTube, but Ray Slemmer, my guy down in Florida, he used to live up here and he worked, I think, for Gary Barberas on the Boulevard, another car guy. And I'm pretty sure, Ray, let me know if you're still in the car industry. I believe you are. But, my guy Reagan too. Reagan, feel free to comment in and I'll shout out your spot too down there. Reagan's in like Orlando area down in Florida. But I know he said he was going to tune in tonight. So let me check. But yeah, no. To be honest, to stay on point and stay on topic, um, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's a cap when it comes to cars, and people just overinflate their lifestyles, man. Like they could be living in the freaking hood and be driving a freaking Mercedes Benz S class or a
But
freaking
it's
or a
like
G wagon.
it's like you said earlier in the show, they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, man. And they what do they do? And it goes back to what you said earlier as well. They all put it on credit card, man. That credit card that rises, you don't have the money to pay it off. Boom, that 30% interest rate that you mentioned earlier, that's when that hits. On top of that, you're paying late fees if it's really, really behind. And I'm actually seeing some cards now, the interest rate can go as high as 40%, which is even more ridiculous. So you're paying all that interest, you're paying all those late fees, and that's money that's going out your pocket to where, if you actually were smart and you knew what you're doing, that's money that you could be putting elsewhere.
Yeah, and they're everything, man. 40% interest on credit cards. They're extending the loan terms on cars now. I've seen 84 months. Did you tell me at one point, man, you saw as much as 96 months was going on
Yeah,
or
I think it was
something?
like 96 months or 105 months or something like that.
Oh my
I don't remember if
god!
it was, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was Tesla or I
Oh
was trying to
my,
remember who it was, but yeah, it was up there because people couldn't. I think 72 normally is like the highest that you
oh
can
my
get.
god! If you gotta
So
extend your car loan 96 months or 105 months, let me tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now if you need to hear it. You can't afford the vehicle. I'm gonna tell you right now that if you need to extend your car loan for freaking how many years is that? Let's see, six,
I
seven,
think it's 8
eight,
years.
8 or 9 years. If you gotta extend it that far, the car is depreciated past its value at that point. You cannot afford the vehicle if you need to lower your payment by that much. If you need to extend that loan term like that, I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you right now.
if I can find that article, I don't know who said it, but if I can find that information, I'm definitely going to put it on the locked in page because I couldn't believe that myself either. Because I thought 72 or I believe 84 may be the max, but I thought 72 was the max. I didn't think it can go any higher than 72, but I think what's happening is that because of the tough economy we're in, most people are having a hard time affording the payments. So what they're having to do is they're having to extend all the way to 90, 96 months. And they're thinking that, oh, well, it's going to help me out. In reality, it's just going to completely screw you long term because you're actually paying more than what the car is worth at the end of that cycle.
Absolutely, absolutely, you are, man. It's just, it's not. It's you're underwater. You're easily underwater. Even 72 months, they tell you is too long. And all right, whatever, somewhat standard. 60 to 72 months is the max. I'd go, and even that's a little high. I'll be honest, like if I'm being completely transparent, I had a car note at 60 months, so 5 years, and I'm already 2 years paying on it, and I'm thinking about just putting up some extra towards it and just getting it done early. But I have a couple months here and there. I put like some extra towards it. In my payment, I'll be honest, I'll be transparent with you. It's in the low 300s, and even for me, I'm like, that's fucking like it's less than. Let me put it this way: it's less than 10% of my take home pay. So I'm less. It's under that, but still, even for me, I'm like, damn, that's high. Like when I first went into the car dealership, they tried to get me with an over $500 car payment. I took off a bunch of warranties that I didn't want on there. I put more money down. That's why I said I'd rather put the additional money down to get that payment lowered. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be paying over $500 a month for a car. I'm going to show you guys a statistic in a minute, but I believe the average car payment in the United States for a newer car is $735. Is what the
Wow.
average payment is. Very close to 800. I've also seen 800 other spots. But yeah, I'm actually going to play this thing on TikTok real quick. Let me put this on my other screen. Hopefully YouTube is not being a little Karen today, and hopefully. Actually, it's not usually YouTube. I will say it's more so Facebook a lot of times. They're weird with Meta and all that. Like how they do things. So I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see. This is what you can see. And I'm not gonna lie. This could be a dealership's ploy to normalize high car payments in order to have you come in and be like, "Oh, it's normal. That's what they pay." So I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I see through the BS. But when I'm seeing the statistics that the average car payment is $735, $800, what are we really to
That's
believe?
that's really, really high. That's way too
Very
high.
high, bro.
Especially in such an unstable economy. That's if you be paying those make if you're making those type of payments, that's crazy. Unless if you have the salary and you can afford it, okay, go have it. But I mean, most people I don't think gonna be able to afford that.
No, absolutely not. All right, let me put this here. So I shared the tab, so this should allow us to share the audio. Just give me a thumbs up, bro, if you can hear the audio. I think I have it muted, so give me 1 second. Let me find where that audio is at.
My car payment's $597 a month.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
2022 Ram 1500.
And what's your car payment?
1,027.
Hey, David, what are you driving?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I drive with a 2017 Acura MDX, and my car payment is I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing that, but it's $564.
Hey, Juan, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
I drive a 2015 Subaru Forester, and my payment is $390 a month.
Okay.
Hey, Giovanni, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
2007 Ford Mustang, and it's paid off.
Hey, Norris,
My
what do
bad.
you drive and what's your car payment?
Dodge Ram 1500 and Mercedes.
What are the payments?
On both cars,
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey, Jennifer, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
A 2022 Mazda CX-5 and it's $635.
Hey, Ryan, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
I drive a 2023 Mazda CX-30 and I pay $527 a month.
Hey, Ariel, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
I drive a 2020 Toyota 86 and I don't have it.
Hey, Jonathan, what do you drive and what's your car payment?
I drive a 20.
So that's just some of them. This one was another one. What was the one I saw here?
The people that said they don't have a car payment, smart people.
Very smart. Very smart. Let's see. I think it was. Let's see. I think it was this one that I had seen.
What's your car payment?
$744.
Hey Chuck, what's your car payment?
$726.
What's your car payment?
$600 a month.
How much is your car payment?
Like $1,000.
Jose, what's your car payment?
Like $935.
What's your car payment?
I actually don't have a car payment right now.
How much is your car payment?
$700.
How much is your car payment? Got it for free from my mom. How much is your car payment?
$700.
How much is your car payment?
$400.
How much is your car payment?
$415.
What's your car payment?
Well, I got an electric Blazer for $469 a month.
How much is your car payment?
$1,080.
How much is your car payment?
Contrary to popular belief, I do have a car payment, and it's $593 a month.
How much is your car payment?
Straight cash, homie.
What's your car payment?
$744.
That's me. The state of cash on me, that's definitely me.
As you see, like a lot of it does circle around the average being about $700, $800 a month, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, the people that have theirs paid off and don't have a car payment, like, yeah, smart. I'll be honest, a lot of people, even in my family tried to, get me to get a car note as soon as I graduated like college and stuff. And like, it just financially, I wasn't where I wanted to be yet. Like I didn't really have a nest egg. I didn't really have a lot built. And I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I rocked, Marius knows this. I rocked the 2002 Toyota Camry. I rocked it until about 235,000 miles on it. And I got it back in 2014. And I got my car, my current car, which is a 2018 Kia Optima EX. I'm driving I got that in July 2022. So I drove and I got the Kia. I think I got the Toyota July 2014. So I literally drove the car for 8 years. 8 years is how long I drove that car. And I essentially almost rode it till the wheels fell off. You know what I mean? It's, I'm sure it could have lasted another probably 70,000 miles had I taken care of it. But I got the car that I really wanted to get and I waited on it. Like I could have been very impulsive. And of course, if your credit's in a good spot, you could be very impulsive. You can get whatever you want realistically. You really could. But, you really, I just didn't want to be underwater. I wanted to be able to make a car payment, drive something comfortable that I like, that's good and reliable. And at the same time, I'm not underwater financially.
Right. That's the key. Like, it doesn't matter how good your credit score is. I mean, having a good credit score will help you get a better deal. Yes. But if you can't, the key is, are you able to afford the payments with the income that you're bringing in? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't get the vehicle. I don't care how good your credit score is.
Yep. Exactly. Because that's the thing. Like some of these cars now are just going like, you just see like the average cars, like especially if you have a truck, man, like you just see what some of these pickup trucks are going for, man, or SUVs, dude. They're going like $55,000, $60,000, $70,000. Like, and if you finance that with almost nothing down, your car payment is going to be about $1,000 a month. That's how these people have $1,000 car payments. If you're driving something that's about $55,000, $60,000, $70,000, that's where the payments are coming. I'm gonna be honest, 70,000 is probably more than 1,000. I'm gonna be honest, on like a 5-6 year term, you're probably paying more than 1,000.
That's
I don't
probably,
think
but
that.
that's probably why they're having to extend it to 8 or 9 years. Like, remember we are talking about earlier that 84
Yeah.
and 96 months. That's probably why. Maybe that's the only way they can afford these trucks nowadays.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't. That means you can't afford it. I'm gonna be honest. It means you can't afford it. That's the truth of it. Now, hey, am I saying some of them vehicles ain't nice vehicles? Absolutely not. Some of those vehicles are absolutely beautiful. Here's the thing, though. Just wait till you're in a spot where you financially can afford these things, because that comes with time. As long as you're growing and you're building your income, that comes with time where you can afford those things. But don't just try to do it to keep up with other people. Because a lot of the times, if I'll be honest with a car, how often do you really spend in your car? The average person, let's be honest, the average person, let's just say that has a 9 to 5, how often they really spend in their car? Even if you're commuting an hour or two each day, what are you spending? 2.5 hours in your car out of a 24-hour day? You want to put that towards something that you're actually going to spend more time in, and also that's going to build you income, like an asset, like a home or something like that. Something that's going to, or even put that money into investments. You could have a no car note in that 300. Honestly, like say you're paying $700, $800 a month, you could throw that into investments and build your money. And guess what? You could take the investment money and go buy yourself a car. Everybody sometimes when they hear investments, they think retirement. Well, yes, you put money aside for retirement, but there's short-term investment accounts. Like, I was just talking to someone the other day, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to wait till I'm 60 years old to pull that money out. Well, I mean, it's good. You should put money towards retirement. Like, let's be realistic. But there's short-term there's brokerage accounts. Brokerage accounts will allow you to invest now, put that money towards it, get a yield on it, or like me and you have talked before, CDs. Put money into it. If you have a nice nest egg, if that's going to work, if you have a lot of money, like stash, because you're going to get the best, return on your investment if you're stashing more money in. So you got like 20,000, 30,000, you're going to get a nicer return. But there's a lot of options. Like, put that money into a savings account. A lot of these accounts today, 4.55% yields on savings accounts. Build yourself interest. You don't need to put it into a liability, because a vehicle is a utility. It's just there to get you from A to B. So it's a utility. It's a liability. And you could literally, off of the money you might make on your returns, you could probably buy these vehicles eventually. So like, that's the thing. Just don't put yourself underwater. If you can afford the payments, hey, more power to you. That's not those, like, we're kind of talking middle class here, so we're not really talking about those type of people. If you have a good amount of wealth coming in, you have a high paying job, you're pulling in, say you're pulling in 250, 300,000 a fucking year. Those are not the type of people I'm talking to, because you can probably afford that comfortably.
No, absolutely, man. No, I still think cash is probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you can't pay it in cash, that means you can't afford it at all. So, I think the best way to go is to not have a car note and put that money elsewhere.
I agree. Yeah, it's something that's definitely interesting, for sure. So I can play it. Let's see one of these real quick. I think there was one. Let me see. I want to see this.
And not to mention, man, the repos too. That doesn't get talked about very often either, man.
Yeah, people are just letting their cars become.
They're not paying off their car notes and they're letting it slide. And there's like been a record number of repos within the last year or so, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It really is. It's like you can't afford to, like, it's like that's the problem, and that takes a hit on your credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that takes a hit on your credit, and you lose access to the vehicle. Then you have to pay all that money to try to get the vehicle back, if you can.
And it hurts you, dude. It absolutely kills you. People don't get that. People really don't. Yeah, I can't really find that. I'm gonna be right back. I just have to use the bathroom. I was gonna try to play one of these clips real quick, but I was gonna say though, but yeah, the repossessions, man. People don't think about it. People don't think about it enough. To be honest, man, like that, it takes a huge hit on your credit. People are like, oh, I'll just let the car get repossessed. Yeah, but it's not quite that simple. It's not cut and dry like that. Like, it's you're gonna mess your credit. You're gonna mess your credit up, and Another thing people don't talk about enough is gap insurance, and that's the thing too. We were just talking about the other day. It's like that kind of, gap insurance is more so to cover the difference between the damage and then whatever your insurance is to like, or whatever you owe on the vehicle and the damage to the car, like however much they're going to give you for damages. So like, say the car's totaled, and they're going to give you like 12,000 for it, but say you owe like 16,000 on it. Gap insurance covers the gap. That's essentially what it is. A lot of people don't talk about that either when financing vehicles.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was initially, but no, if I was to ever finance a vehicle, I would definitely purchase gap insurance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll be right back, man. I'm still gonna be here. I mean, you can feel free to talk about repossessions, whatever. It's gonna be like literally like 30 seconds. I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick. Right back.
Sure. So this is my podcast now, right?
You got it, brother. You got it.
As you can see, I just kicked Steve out. So this is the Mario show now. It's no longer the Lockman show. Nah, I'm just playing with everybody. But yeah, I mean, these are tough times that we're living in. I still think, just going back to the conversation that me and Steve had in regards to cars, because I'm sure we'll probably cover other topics as the night goes on. Honestly speaking, I think what people should do is that they should save as much money as they possibly can, and then try to get a car if they can't to pay it in cash. I think that's the best way to go about it, because that right there will protect you from having any future car notes or anything like that. At that point, you'll just basically be responsible for just paying regular maintenance, such as oil changes, tire changes, inspections, etc., and then just your car insurance. You won't have to worry about a car payment or anything like that. And I think, really, honestly, that's the best way to go about it.
Absolutely. I was hearing a little bit as you were kind of going on. Yeah, like no car payment, man, is probably the best way. A lot of these successful financial people are like that too. They're a team no car payment. So
Yeah, Dave Ramsey talks about it all the time. If you can, try to pay for everything in cash. I mean, there's certain things I disagree with them on, but in general, though, I do agree with them, especially in the car aspect, to try to pay the vehicle in cash if you can, and stuff like that.
I
think
agree.
he's absolutely spot on that one.
Yeah, I like his debt pay down advice. I'll be honest, for investments, I'm a little
That's what I said. Yeah, that's why I said there's some things that I disagree with him on. But I think overall, though, he has like the right mindset, because his main thing is to get out of debt, to make sure you're debt free. That means having your mortgage paid off in full, making sure you have no car notes, making sure that's paid off in full. He basically wants you to achieve financial freedom. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to investing and other aspects, I don't know if his advice might be helpful in that aspect.
Yeah, I kind of butt heads with that a little bit, but no, in terms of the debt pay down stuff, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's all he wants. He wants you to be financially free, man. And I'm sorry, man. A peace of mind at night when you're sleeping is one of the best possible things you can have, especially if you're going to have a family and stuff. To have you make sure you and your family are financially stable is huge. It's very critical, and we all go through tough times in life where we have to figure things out and stuff. But you want to try to strive to get to that financial freedom level, because I just think it's priceless to have a peace of mind.
Exactly. That's why you don't want to have any liabilities.
Yeah. I was actually just talking to my guy Bill. Actually, Bill, if you're watching, he's my former manager in my company. He's a Vanguard guy now. So like they're like what he works for Vanguard, but he said he's got friends. He's been around, and he said he knows multimillionaires, and he said and these people that are multimillionaires, they own their cars outright. Like they're not making a car payment. So like he said some of them even just drive hoopties. They don't drive fancy cars, but they're multimillionaires off their assets and stuff. And he's like, and that's the thing, it's you'd be surprised. Like they're like their team, like they don't have any car payments or anything. Everything's bought outright. And you might say like, oh, it's easy when you're a millionaire. Yeah, but also like they had to spend a certain amount of time to get there too. If they're self-made, they weren't handed money financially. Like they took them time to get there. So it requires a little bit of sacrifice. I've seen someone become a millionaire in like 5 years. So like it's crazy. I mean, they work their ass off when I tell you, but like, I mean, it's possible, man. It's possible. It doesn't mean it's going to take 20 years for you to do it. I mean, if you have a solid concept and a solid thing, like they say, it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, but it can happen in shorter than when you think. I don't want to make it seem like it's so easy, because it's absolutely not. You have to work like others won't to do it, but it's absolutely possible. And you can also do it by just putting money aside for retirement every single month too. And like by the time you're 65, if you're just going to be the 9 to 5 person, and there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 until you're 65 years old. Not everybody is a business owner. Not everybody is built to be a business owner. I think the key is try to have multiple income streams though, make your investments work for you, different things like that. Not everybody's, I know everybody says you got to own a business. You got to own a business. Ideally, I think that'd be a beautiful thing for a lot of people, even if you work a 9 to 5 and have a side business where you're making money and you have freedom. But I do also acknowledge that maybe not everybody has the business owner mindset. I understand that, but there's multiple ways that you could become a multimillionaire and make money, and not even just a millionaire, just achieve financial freedom for yourself, whatever that number is. You know, not everybody's lifestyle is $1 million. Like you might be able to live comfortably off of 500,000. Like your lifestyle just depends, but financial freedom is a very vague concept. But you know, because it can be multiple different ways. Financial freedom for one person might be something different to somebody else. So, but just having that peace of mind is going to be a beautiful thing one day. You know, if you can achieve that and provide that type of financial stability for your family.
Yeah, you got that right, man. You got that right. The best thing to do is save, invest smartly, man. So that way, when you do reach that age where you retire, man, you have something in the bank. I mean, I'm reading some of these stories and it's heartbreaking. Some of these people that are retiring, they have absolutely no money coming in savings, and they're just relying off of Social Security, man. And unfortunately, with the way the economy is going and as everything is increasing, I mean, the Social Security is not paying you much, so it's a tough situation all around. That's why you got to make sure you have an emergency fund. That's why you got to make sure you have a neg nest. If you do find yourself in that situation, you have other money to spend.
Absolutely, it's crazy. It really is. We don't know where Social Security is going to be at when we retire, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's not.
we might not have one when we retire, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
It might go insolvent in what, 5-10 years.
Yeah, it's not something I'm willing to bank on. Here's the thing I saw. This is from money.com that I had seen, but this is all. I also saw something on Nerd Wallet as well. Let me share this because I don't need audio here. Let's see. This was a thing surrounding car payments. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. This was an article. I think this was from October. It's almost a year ago, but these payments could be even higher now. Yeah, it was from October of 2023 over here. And it was saying car payments now average well over $700 a month for the new vehicles. It's a new record high. And it's honestly crazy. It's just like, it's also because of the auto loan interest rates are just continuing to skyrocket. They're saying for newer vehicles, 7.4%. But we've seen some of these people, man, they got these $1,000 car payments having interest rates as high as 15, 16, 17, 18%. Like, man, like it's really crazy. Like, yeah, and this is what I was saying about the average here. As a result, average new car payment, third quarter, I was saying 735, 736 per month. So this is the average new car payment. Crazy. This is what we're saying. And consumer debt is higher than ever now too.
Yeah, the credit card debts are going crazy, man. The number of people in default, it's through the roof. So many people are in collections because they simply can't pay off their credit card bills. And that's why those rates are, ticking up, because the credit card companies knows that you can't pay it back, so they're trying to recoup as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, they're saying in 2024, the USA Today is estimating that around the average household has almost $9,000 in credit card debt sitting on their credit card.
Wow.
$674 in credit card debt. Now that's a household debt, but still. And they're saying credit card debt, and the Federal Reserve is revealing that credit card debt right now, currently, this was as of quarter 2 of this year of 2024, was sitting at $1.14 trillion. Just now in credit card debt. $1.14 trillion in credit card debt.
I never thought I'd hear that number.
Really, over a freaking $1 trillion, man. Like, it's just
in credit card debt. That's crazy.
It is, and it's like we said, credit card debt is some of the worst debt to possibly have. It's because of the interest. It's because of the rates. Honestly, if you're gonna go at it, I'm gonna be honest. To tackle your credit card debt, like I said, I'm not a. I always make the disclaimer. I'm not a licensed financial advisor in any way. I'm not gonna say make a decision on it, but I would look into a personal loan because you can probably get a lower interest rate on a personal loan most of the time than your credit card debt. It sucks that you would even have to go there, but just shop around. I will be honest, because if you're sitting at 30% APR, it might be feel almost impossible to pay that down. So
the only thing I can think of is I do know that some of these cards, like if you haven't already applied for one, I think when you apply for the first time, I think they allow you to transfer the balance from another card that you have at 0% for like the first 10 or 15 months. I think it depends on the credit card.
If you could pay it down.
Exactly, yeah. So that way, if you can, if you're able to do that, if you get accepted, you can transfer over that balance and then just start, paying it down. And the good thing about this, it'll be at 0% for however months they have it. You just have to
You're getting no interest
down before that time frame.
Yep. So that's all the 0% means too, guys. Is just it means that they're not going to be charging you interest. So if your interest is sky high because you have sky high credit card debt, if you think so, that's the thing. Shop your options, because if you think you can pay it down in 10 to 15 months, it might be a viable option. Take it. If you feel it's going to take longer than that, still might not be a horrible option, and then do it for 10 to 15 months and then maybe go personal. I don't know. Just you have to. That's the thing, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the 100% best course of action. Everybody's scenario is different. So that's all I say is, shop around, look, see what you can do. Everybody's financial situation, everybody's credit situation is different. Not everybody can get a personal loan either. That's another thing.
My bad, Coach Shaw. I was going to say, just to give people an example, as I'm looking on right now, I'm at American Express's website. So if you apply for the American Express Blue Cash Everyday card, so it's a no annual fee credit card, it says 0% intro APR on purchases and balance transfers for 15 months. So that means if you let's say you're with Chase and you have a debt of $10,000, and you get approved for this card, you can transfer over that $10,000 into this card, and you'll not have to pay any interest for 15 months. But then the problem then becomes is if those 15 months pass, because on here it's saying that the APR is 19 to 29%. So if that time frame passes and the balance is not paid off in full, you're looking at, chances are close to 30% interest rate again. So, the only way to get out of that mess is you just have to pay down the debt. That's just one example, though. That's just one card. I'm sure there's other cards too that probably offer that. Not just
how I see it is, if you're already paying 30% debt, what does it hurt? What does it hurt? And that's the thing. Like Marius said, it's a big part too. If you're not trying to spend more money, it's a no annual fee card, which is critical.
I would recommend. If you're ever in that situation, it's best just to get a no annual fee card. That's just one less thing to worry about.
Exactly. And that's the thing. So say you have $10,000, like you said, and say that interest rate is $200 a month. You go 15 months, you're saving $3,000 in your pocket. So you can put towards that $10,000 right there alone on the interest. You're going to get to chop that down $3,000. So there you go. Right there, just off the interest that you're already paying. Boom. That wipes that out. So then you have another $7,000 to tackle. So it's, you figure that out throughout the 15 months and you put money towards it and you develop a plan. And if you're in a household, maybe you got two incomes coming in, and you and your wife, you and your husband, you and your partner, whoever, you guys tackle it together. You figure it out. But everybody's situation is unique. Personal, because that's the thing. I was saying personal loans, but not everybody can get a personal loan because it depends on your credit. If your credit's in the 500s or something like that, odds you get a personal loan is going to be slim to none.
Yeah, because they know that you might not pay it back.
Yeah, your trustworthiness just ain't there right now. That doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you can't get back to like an 800. You definitely can. I've seen it happen. But it takes time. Like if you're in a dire situation, that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you right now. So, everybody's situation is different. That's why, you sit down, you figure it out. There's a lot of great information online that you can probably figure out. You can find things. Maybe even
there's a lot of that's the thing. That's the thing. There's a lot of great information online, but the problem is there's also a lot of bad misinformation.
Yeah, be careful.
That's what you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, be very careful. Absolutely true, Mario. You actually got to it before I could say it. No, yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there too, so be very careful. The best thing you can probably do is call up your banks, call up your creditors. Just honestly talk to somebody who already works in this and just kind of figure out what the best scenario might be. because a lot of these people that work for these companies, they can probably guide you at least in some type of general direction. You know what I mean? Just honestly talk to them and explain to them your situation. Communication.
Or if you can't reach out to them, I would recommend probably reaching out to like a financial advisor or financial manager and sit down with them and have them go through a list of all your expenses and create a budget for you and go from there.
The only thing I would say about that is just be careful because some of them do charge a fee. So if you're already in a crappy financial situation, a lot of them may only give you advice based off of what you can provide them with a fee. So that's the only reason why sometimes with financial advisors, I think that they do great things. Some of them are great, some of them maybe not so great, but that's why I don't always recommend financial advisors, is just because you got to look out there and see what you could find, but just understand that some of them, they're going to want a monetary compensation probably for whatever advice they give you. So it's not everyone, but just, might be a good route though. Not going to lie. That's why you communicate with them. You talk and see what their fees are, see what they charge. And hey, if they're actually going to help you solve the problem and the fee isn't too great and you could afford it, hey, see if they're really going to help you out, might not be a bad option.
Yeah, or if you don't want to pay the fee, I don't know how much they charge. I would just go the old route. Just take out a pen or a piece of pencil and take out a piece of paper and just jot down your expenses for the week or for the month or for the day or however you want to do it. Have your income on there and then just jot everything down and then just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's kind of how it.
I know it's probably going to be very time consuming, but if you're trying to get your life back together and in order, you're going to have to put the time in to try to figure out how to get out of that mess.
Yeah, and if you have access to a computer, you can probably find a lot of free templates and budget templates that you can plug your stuff into. So if you don't want to do pen and pad and you want to do and you like to work on the computer, boom, you can probably find a lot of great templates online. I would say Microsoft Excel, but not everybody has Excel because it's a paid thing. So, but hey, if you work for an employer and you have Excel, I'm going to tell you right now, I've already said this on previous podcast episodes. There's a lot of great templates when you go into Excel. A lot of great templates. I'll actually give you guys an example. I'll show you something, just so you guys can kind of see. I'll just give it real quick on my screen because I always like to help people out with this type of stuff because there is a lot of great options, and these have automatic calculated fields that allow you to subtract the debt and stuff, so you actually don't have to do it yourself, which is very nice.
I remember you emailed me one of them. I think a few years back. Yeah, it was
very helpful.
Yeah,
very, very helpful. So let me share without also not sharing anything personal. Let me make sure there's nothing personal here. Cool. Let me go new. There we go. I wanted to get off my personal work stuff. I don't want to put any of that out there. Up there on the no personal work stuff out here because I don't know, my company and all this stuff. Let's see. Share screen. Let's go to window here. So guys, this is when you first come into Excel. There's a thing when you go to new here, when you first open up Excel, it's going to put you on the home tab. It's where I had a lot of my personal stuff. But when you go to new here, you're going to see like down here in this whole little section down here, there's a bunch of things for templates. If you actually go over here, there's a thing for budgets. You click that and look at all these free budgets that you can open up. All different types of templates and stuff that you can utilize here. And this is all free. It's free if you have Excel, but I'm saying if you work for an employer and you already have Excel, like it's already being paid for. This could be a great tool to use. There's a lot of free ones online too, but look at these. Great.
Yeah, if you don't have Excel or if you don't have an employer who has Excel or anything like that, maybe you can get an older version of, Windows, like the Windows. Yeah. I forgot what it was called because I use a MacBook now. But maybe you can get an older version of Windows and stuff like that, and just go from there.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the older ones probably have this one, maybe not as sophisticated or in depth as the one you just show on the screen. But maybe you can get one from 2015 or 2017 or something like that. I'm sure it probably has a good amount of those.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, man. There's no doubt about that. This is one of the examples of a budget that they had in there. This is one of their big ones. It's a personal monthly budget. And you can honestly put all your costs in here and you can change the names. It says mortgage, rent. There's things down here, I think, for loans. See, like if you have student loans, credit card loans, like you can put everything in here and it totals up your taxes, everything. Like it's a long list. You can plug things in here. And it's an automatic calculated field too. So like if you plug something in here, I think with the I'm not sure how they're calculated, but you'll see they're like it's all formula based. So it's like total income, total expenses. It's taken, and then you have down here. See, it's pulling everything from different fields and stuff from all your projected costs. And yeah, no, great budget tools out there, though. I mean, there's a lot of free options online. So if you go into Google, I'm sure you can find a lot of free downloadable templates you can utilize. So Mike actually commented in. Mike said, "What's up? What's up, bro? Mike, what's going on, man?" He said, "How is everything?" Doing well, man. Doing well. Trying to provide some good content here. So appreciate you tuning in, my brother. I like the whip. I see, like you got a Jeep in there, like the whip, man. I see the Jeep in the pic down there. Liking it, man.
Yeah, if you don't want to use the templates, like I said, there's always the good old pen and piece of paper. You can just do it that way.
Yep. You pull out a calculator, you pull out a pen and a pad, man, and boom, that's how budgeting needs to be done.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how it was utilized.
If you're not computer savvy or anything like that, just write everything down. I'm sure that'll be a pain in the ass, but like I said, if you're looking to get out of debt, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you have to start. You have to start from scratch sometimes. And if you're in a family, I'm going to be honest, you and your partner have to get on the same page. That's very critical.
Absolutely.
That's something that people might not say enough, but you have to get on the same page. You have to have an honest talk with each other. Be like, hey, I love you. Our lifestyles, and a good partner is going to understand. Inflated lifestyle. It's like it's a thing. It's like we're always trying to keep up with other people. It's like it's gonna. I was actually just talking to my guy Bill. That's what I was saying about that. He's like, a lot of people are always just trying to keep up with the Joneses here, and it's like it puts people underwater so much. Like it's just as a family, like you have to get on the same page. You have to.
It catches up to you. That's why you can only keep up with the Joneses for so long. Once that money starts running out and the bills start piling up, then all of a sudden that's how your guard gets repossessed. That's how you default on your mortgage. That's how you fall behind on credit card debt. That's how you end up in collections. So you can show up all you want to. At the end of the day, you're just digging that hole deeper and deeper.
It's crazy. It really is. It absolutely. It's a snowball, man. It's a snowball effect. I was gonna pull up something for inflation here to see what grocery prices. Let me see.
What a pain in the ass it is to go to the grocery store, man. Those prices are out of control.
It is just incredible.
Even shopping with coupons and stuff like that, and it still feels very, very expensive, man.
This was something I saw. What was it earlier? Let me see if I can pull this up. See, I can pull this up. And this is something I've been seeing circulating, so I'm not sure of the total truth of this stuff, but I'm also not completely shocked. Like this is something I saw earlier and I wanted to share it. I found it here too. Let's see. I found it online too. So this was an example that goes off just going back 4 years. What we're kind of seeing in inflation prices here for just some average common grocery store items that people are purchasing. And people might go, $149 to $299. That's not crazy. I'm like, yeah, but every little thing adds up. If you're adding a cart of things, I can tell you right now, when I go to the grocery store, sometimes I get sometimes my shopping trips are always the same. I'm purchasing literally the same things. And I am noticing increases. Like my pockets are definitely getting hit harder than they have been. And when I think back to something that may have cost it back in we're going way back, 2018 or 2017, might have been $100 and something. Like now they're going to be $200 and something. I saw something. Somebody compared. I think it was their Walmart or Aldi receipt, and I think they said that they had spent $60 the year before, and now I think they had compared it to now, and it was $140. So it's more than double for the same products, the same things. Going from 60 to 140 is crazy. It's over 100%. It's over 200%. Literally, it's 100. It's more than doubled. It's more than double.
Look on the thing that you just shared. Look at the eggs. It's up by 100%. Look at the bread. It's up by 33%. I mean, these are, essential things that people need. I mean, look at milk. It's up 50%.
Yeah,
Absolutely
milk,
insane.
cereals. It really is. And I'm noticing like the small things when I go to the grocery store. I was just in the grocery store the other day and it was like I saw something that would used to be like $3.99 and now it's like $6.99. It's like or $5.99. Like those little things add up because if you get a grocery cart full of multiple things, and here's the thing, like I may only shop for myself at the moment, but like you and your partner might shop for yourselves and everything. But then when you have a family, you have kids, you're not just providing for yourself, or you're shopping for a family of 4, or a family of 5, or a family of 6. Like that shit adds up. Like it's tough. Like groceries are essential. They are essential. That's why I have no shame. I'm not gonna lie. Like, hey, like if you have to go, and this isn't for everything because there's certain things I like that maybe aren't like these things. But yo, there's nothing wrong with buying store brand stuff, store brand stuff. Because you know what, you got it. Your finances are more important than trying to buy name brand. I'm sorry, your finances are more important. So like, hey, if you got to buy store brand, you buy store brand.
Yeah, no, I agree. You gotta do what you gotta do, but
It's so
the
hard to
price.
be healthy because of that. Like it's like because anything that's health related is expensive. It's just how it is. Meats, everything's going up.
Hey,
So
look at that chicken breast, 2 pounds, up 60%. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. Look at this orange juice, bro. 43% increase. I'm like, come on, what the hell?
yeah, I can confirm ground beef. I just got something the other day. It was like $7.49 for a pound. Crazy.
Insane,
7.49.
insane.
93 cents. 2 pounds of chicken breast. It might be even more than that. I'm gonna be honest. Like where we live, it might be more than that. I think it might be more like $10, $11. 2 pounds. $8 might be right. Mike had commented. He said, "Yeah, everything is high, getting more high soon." Yeah, he said, "Shit, I remember $100. I remember $100 would get you a lot more. $100 in a store, like 6 things. Now, yeah, it's
Yeah,
getting there. It's
that's
getting there,
true.
man.
We're getting there. Yeah, we'll
Mike,
probably
I
be
know,
there soon.
Mike, I know you know, man. You got 2 kids. You got 2 kids at home, man. I know you know. To fill my refrigerator is like $350. Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. I go to the store and like I think I usually try to shop like 2-3 weeks at a time, man. It costs me like $330, man, to shop for 3 weeks, man. And that's just for me. I'm shopping for me, like so that's like 110 a week. I buy proteins and meats and stuff too, like salmon, eggs, ground beef, chicken and stuff. So that adds in there, but like it's getting very expensive. I saw somebody went to the store, I think, and they had a thing of honey. It was like a big bottle. It was like $22 now. Like crazy. $22 for honey. It was, I would say it's a bigger bottle, but then like somebody showed me they had honey like a small jar, $10 the other day. I'm like, what? He said, and that's the cheap stuff too. Yeah. It really is outrageous, like what we're doing. Like that's why I said go to Walmart, get great value. Buy the great value brands. Like it's you
Or
have to
go to Aldi. Aldi has some good cheap
Aldi
prices
has
as well.
great options for affordability. Absolutely. Lidl, same thing. Lidl, Aldi, like a lot of those spots, quality stuff for affordable prices. Yeah, you can miss me with like if like here's the thing, if you don't have it, like a lot of people like to shop at Target and shop at like Acme and these other stores. I'm not gonna lie, Acme and Target a little bit pricier. You're gonna look at the price point. Here's the thing, might not be a lot, maybe $1 or so, but hey, every item is gonna add up. If you're doing a full-blown grocery shopping trip, it's going to add up. It's so go with what you can afford. Groceries are essential. We want to make sure everybody eats. We want to make sure everybody's okay. Everybody's good.
Of course,
Because
yeah.
need
What you
food.
gonna do? You gonna starve to death?
Exactly. So, we want to make sure everybody's good, food wise.
That's why some of these increases are insane. Like like the eggs part is just crazy. Like 100% increase. Like almost like I don't know not one person that doesn't need eggs. Like it's crazy. I don't know.
And people might say like, oh, like it's only $2.99. Like, yeah, but still it's going up a lot. And then here you go down here, it says the average increase was nearly 50%, 46% is what we're sitting at here. So it's crazy.
And you know what the crazy part is? I don't even see it getting down anytime soon. These numbers that you see on the screen, they might progressively go up and up.
Yeah. And also, inflation affects transportation. So pretty people are just the more like gas and if that stuff goes up and oil and all that stuff, it's boom. The more groceries are going to go up because guess what? They got to transport those groceries. So
yeah, I heard SEPTA is probably thinking about increasing their fares and shit like that. So for those of you that take public transportation, you might have to pay more in the near future. Who knows?
it's hitting everything, man. It's hitting everything. So if you want to dine out, you want to go out to eat, you want to do all those things, remember those because food prices are going up, restaurants and stuff are jacking their prices up. I've seen it even at local affordable diners, man, like places I've gone to for years, man. You just start to see like you might decide like, hey, I want to order in one day. Boom, you go on like these DoorDash or just one of these apps. And like, I usually try not to get delivery. I try to pick up so I don't have to like pay those crazy fees. But even when you're like looking to do it like real quick, you're like, wow, this is going up $4. Like, it's like one of like the dishes you get. It's like, you're just starting to see it everywhere. It's hitting everywhere. And like, yeah, it might not seem like crazy to certain people, but it's just like, I don't care how much money I have. It's still very sad. It's very unfortunate. Like, I don't care if I'm a millionaire. Like, it's, which I'm not. But like it's I don't care if I have $1 million. Like it just sucks to see everything's going up. Us as the middle class are getting hit, and this is the time more than ever that you have to be smart financially.
Yeah, this is why creating a budget is so important for things like this, because you can keep track of what you're spending on and how much you're spending on or whatnot. So if you go someplace and it's super expensive or whatnot, it might be time to maybe go somewhere else to see if you can get cheaper prices.
Absolutely. Let's have to share also. Mike says, does not help that this mayor is taking all these loans to try to clean up the worst areas of Philly. That's falling back on us. Yeah, man, people tend to not understand how that works. Sometimes I'm very shocked to see like on social media how people think like, look, I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. Like, my judgment is not cared on who I vote for or who you vote for, and it is what it is. But I heard something the other day about during the presidential debate, and I think it was Vice President Harris was saying about this down payment program that she has. She's going to give everybody $25,000 in assistance for first time home buyers. And people are like, oh, that's fantastic. Yes, but that where that's going to hit? That's going to hit the economy. It's going to hit in other ways. So I just want you guys to understand like how these things work. And I'm just using Harris as an example, but Trump says some things too, and former President Trump says things too. And you got to understand, like even like when they gave out the stimulus money, like during COVID, there's people at the time that probably could have really used that money because they were struggling. But just understand how economics work and how these types of things work is look at what happens. Uncle Sam is going to get his money no matter what. The government and Uncle Sam, they're going to get their money. So like they're going to give, I forget how much they handed out. I'm not sure if you have that statistic of how much like they gave out during with the stimulus totals, but it was very high. Like if you look at like every individual of like how much it added up. So they're collecting, and I'm not gonna lie. Inflation definitely some of inflation is probably caused by this. I'm not saying all of it because it's definitely not all of it. There's a lot of other reasons, and I could do a whole nother episode on that of kind of where I think that's kind of started and stuff. But like, what's really affecting that? There's a lot of things with pipelines and all different other things that are going on here that are also at play. But I'm not gonna lie, like that. What does it do? It jacks up the prices other places. So if you're telling me that you're going to give everybody $25,000 for home assistance, which, I understand, like, great. They're trying to get people.
Yeah, there's to answer your question, it says more than 476 million payments totaling $814 billion in financial relief
went
to households impacted by the pandemic. So we're talking about almost close to $1 trillion.
Yep. Almost the amount of credit card debt we have. I was pretty sure it was probably close to $1 trillion. So I didn't want to butcher it, but man,
and we're paying it back through inflation. I mean, you're right. Uncle Sam always gets his money back. That's what people don't understand. They look at it as free money and stuff like that, but nothing is free in this world. At the end of the day, somebody's paying for it.
Money comes from
and now we're paying it back in inflation. So it is what it is.
And we are, I think, only second to Japan right now in terms of debt owed as a country. USA total country debt rankings. When I last looked at this, I saw something on the Wall Street Journal about this. Okay, so we're actually 3. Italy's actually number 2 right now. In terms of GDP ratio, so this is gross domestic product ratio. Japan's is at the wazoo. U.S. is 121%, Italy's 144, and Japan is 261% GDP. Let me see here. So here's a list of external debt. I want to see what we're sitting at right now. Actually, no. All right, so no, Japan is actually, yeah, they're the most. Oh no, they're not the most. They are. So that was just gross domestic product. If we actually look at actual external debt, the United States is in $35 trillion in debt. The closest one next to us is the European Union, who's 17.4 trillion. So we're actually number 1 in that category. GDP, Japan leads. Yeah, so it's just that. Yeah, that's crazy. $35 trillion in debt. That's where we're sitting right now,
and it's increasing.
It really is. Mike said she took out the man. She's talking about the mayor. She took out $100,000 loan and knocked down the drug industry and clean up Kensington Avenue. We'll be paying that back. Look, I understand she's trying to come from a good spot, but yeah, no, it hits the economy though. It's just how it is. It's only unfortunate. I understand she's trying to do something good, but it's also it plays a factor other ways. Wish you didn't have to do that, but it's how it is. You know, a lot of it isn't grant. It's like if we don't pay it, I will be passed down to kids and their kids. Oh, he's saying it will be passed down to kids. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy that I just just understand how that works. Like people are like, oh, $25,000 down pay. Great, but like that money's coming from somewhere. It's not free. We're in a ton of debt for a reason. Unfortunately, my thoughts on it is we're always helping out other countries, and that's great and all, but I think we need to take care of ourselves first. And that's, so that requires us being a little bit selfish. It is what it is. It really pains me to see so much homeless veterans on the streets. And, I was literally just talking to somebody in the park the other day who was actually a former vet and is homeless right now. I had a conversation with him. Unfortunately, his name has kind of escaped me, but I'll be honest, like it's really sad to see just homeless veterans inside this country. And you see us taking care of other countries, getting involved in countries and, funding wars that we have no business being in. At the end of the day, other countries, I hate to say it and it might sound harsh, but we got to take care of ourselves first, It's just is what it is, It's, why are we taking care of that? That's why we're in so much debt as a country and so much external debt. But yeah, that debt has repercussions because
it's going to get passed down to our children and their children and their children. I mean, $35 trillion, you just said it, and it's going to get even worse. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it even reaches 40 trillion.
Oh, absolutely. Because I'll tell you right now, during Obama's reign, it was at 9 trillion. And I think by the time he was done, it was at about 24 trillion. So just in 8 years, you saw where that got. It went from like 9 trillion to like 24. It went $15 trillion in a freaking span of 8 years. So you mean to tell me another 6 trillion? It can happen very quickly. Very quickly.
It's crazy.
I said facts. Yeah, no, it's true, Mike. It's true. I feel, man, it's like people are just trying to get up and earn an honest living, man. Like I know, Mike, you got 2 kids. Like you get up, you try to earn an honest living, and it's like you try to be out here, just providing for your family, and it's tough. It's a tough time. Here's the thing: we got to try to keep a positive mindset, though. I know how hard it is sometimes, but we got to keep that positive mind because negativity just isn't going to help us. It's not going to put us in a better situation to make more money. It's not going to put us in a certain thing. You know what I mean? The only thing I can say is try to acquire more skills and just try to make as much money as possible. Even if it just requires working a second job, I know that's not as easy as said and done. If you got multiple kids and you got a wife at home or a husband at home, it can be very challenging. Communication is critical, and it's you really just have to sit there and don't give up. That's what I want to say is I think more than anything, don't give up. Life gets tough, but on the other end of it, there's usually good things as long as you try to put in the work. But it can become challenging and very depressing. But that's why I said, as a couple, as a family and stuff, you have to get on the same page. I think that's first and foremost. If you're trying to get out of debt, and if you got crazy car payments, if you don't already have those payments and you guys are thinking about getting crazy, if you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't do it. And like I said, if you are going to finance, try to keep it 10% or less of your income. Don't your take-home income. Don't do anything crazy. Don't put yourself underwater. Like $1,000 car payments are crazy. And I'm not going to lie. I know quite a few people that have them.
I hope they can afford them.
It's unfortunate, but I do know a few people that have $1,000 car payments. Some a little bit north of 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, man. I can't. I simply cannot.
So one TikTok, this girl was bragging. Remember you saw it the other day too, I think. And the girl was bragging that her car was $1,400 a month and her husband's was $1,600. They're literally swimming in $3,000 in monthly car payments.
That's crazy. That's a fucking mortgage right there, man. And that's simply worth the cars.
So if you go by the 10% rule, you know how much you'd have to make to have $3,000 a month car payments? You would have to make $30,000 a month. You'd have to be bringing home after taxes 30 G's a month. Let's just do the math there. Let's actually see how much you'd actually have to be making to afford that then, if we actually go realistic here, to be able to live comfortably. Let's see.
That's some crazy numbers, man.
Let's see. Let's see. Trying to do the math here. Let's do the math here. If you actually want to say, which I highly doubt they're pulling in, even that doesn't cut it. Oh my God. Which I highly doubt they're pulling in. I don't know. Oh man. All right, that's more. Let's see this. I'm gonna get to this sweet spot here. I'm gonna figure out how much that is. It's about, let's see. It's more than $500,000 a month. Let's just put it that way.
$500,000.
Actually, a little more. It's like 515,000. But oh my God, dude, they're not pulling that in. I'm gonna tell you right now. The average that's a 1% income, less than 1%, make that. So it's I highly doubt they're making that. Because here's the thing.
They are, God bless them, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. If they are, God bless them, like you said, highly doubt it. I make money and my wife make money and it's still hard. Yeah, man, it's tough. I'm seeing like things where, and I think that's the normal nowadays, guys. I'm going to be honest. Like I know back in the day, it was just the man provided and the woman a lot of times stayed home with the kids. It becomes very challenging to do that today. It just is. It's really unfortunate. Not everybody can realistically do that. I would actually say the standard is actually not that right now. The standard is actually you have two couples with two people providing income inside the household. So it's a lot of times two sides, and even sometimes that's very difficult. Either one person needs to get a promotion to make more money, or another person needs to work two jobs. It's or have a secondary source of income because it's tough. He said, when I got my first Jeep, it was just $100 to $150 a day for gas because it was a inline 6 motor. And then, oh my God, how much were you driving, man?
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
Was it on it like that? Jeez, Jeeps are nice, man. Makes me not ever want to own a Jeep.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you drive it. I mean,
exactly. That's true. That's why I'm curious, Mike. Let me know how much were you driving a day? Do you need to like drive to far distances for work, or Because I'm gonna be honest, like you know what I always used to hear with the guzzlers when you're a kid, Hummers. Hummers are like the worst, man. But that's why they don't even make them anymore.
I was about to say they don't make them anymore.
Guzzlers, dude. Yeah, but I've heard of it, like with pickup trucks and stuff. Like people are like, you know, spending crazy amounts of money on gas and stuff. It's crazy, and it's a lot to fill up those trucks.
Yeah, you know, big engines, man. You know, it's very thirsty. And some of those trucks you might need premium fuel, so that's more money though on top of that you're paying. Yeah, it can add up if you don't really think things through.
Yeah, Mike said it was mainly because of the big 30-inch tires, big system. For gas though, like that's like your first Jeep, it was $100 for gas. Like how much were you driving?
I'm not sure. I never owned like a big truck, so I don't know.
Yeah. Like were you driving a lot for work? He said, you know, because of the big system in the back. Those some nice rims, man. Nice size tires. It's I saw you've had a Kia though before too, man. I'm not sure if you still have your Kia Soul, but I know you've driven Kia too. Kia, man, I drove a Kia, man. I'll tell you what, one good thing is it's very fuel efficient. That's what I like about it. You know what though, man? Sometimes you can't even tell. You know, I have my Kia, and sometimes it feels like it's a luxury vehicle inside because I got the EX, which is it has the premium package in it, and so some nice stuff. He said it was a 2001 Cherokee Sport. It's 4-inch. He said, "What's a 4-inch lift?" Sounds like a nice car for maybe some off-roading and stuff. Nice off-roading vehicle, 2001 Cherokee Sport. I'm curious, Mike. Did you buy it outright or were you financing it? Yeah, man. Because it's just we're getting into a crazy cycle here, and I didn't know the average household has $9,000 on credit cards. I heard one lady called into Ramsey's, she rang Dave Ramsey, and it was saying about $127,000 in credit card debt. And I don't think Dave Ramsey was on that one, but he said that because she said she had over $500,000 in debt. They said, okay, well, how much is the mortgage? And then she's like, well, let me just break out what the credit card debt is. And she said 127,000. Said 127,000. Like, what were you buying? Like, and she's like, oh, you know, things for around the house here and there, these things. And you were funding it on a credit card and couldn't pay the balance down. But the only thing about her is their joint income apparently per month was $13,000, her and her husband after taxes. He's like, so why are you like, what the hell? You're not putting money towards the damn debt. Like you're putting in $13,000 a month. Like that's a solid income.
Very solid. Yeah. I'm like, they must have poor spending habits not to pay that off.
That's what I was saying. Something wasn't being told. Something don't add up. How are you making $13,000 a month? Which
Poor spending habits, man. You'd be surprised. Money comes in and it goes right out. Some people just don't care, man. They take out that card, they swipe it, and that's that. They don't worry about it.
That's the truth.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like some people just have no sense for financial literacy. It's not until, you know, the house completely burns to the ground, that's when they start to wake up and be like, oh shit, where I get myself into. That's why when you see these talk show hosts and they host these call-in shows and people call in, it's like when they've reached completely rock bottom, they owe $50,000-$100,000 in debt. They're like, okay, what do I need to do to get out? It's only then when they realize, okay, like I got myself in a big mess. How do I get out of it?
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like it's like, yeah, $250,000 a year is about $13,000 a month.
Yeah. But you think maybe they have a high mortgage, maybe they have high car payments. That's there.
So he said, Mike said outright 10,000. Okay, yeah, man, that's good, dude. It's good.
That's smart. Yep.
10,000, man. Good shit, dude.
Yeah. No car payments to worry about, huh, Mike?
Yeah, there you go, man. That's smart though, man. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, man. Like even if you're down on a tough time, people. I know you're a car guy, man. Even if you can't afford any of the car you want right now, man. Just honestly, man, I'd rather be debt free. I'd rather be debt free and get what I want later on. You know what, man? The car market is always going to be there. That's the consumer market is always going to be there. Things ain't going nowhere. Items ain't going nowhere. Watches, clothing, jewelry, cars, all those liabilities, all that stuff. Guess what? There's always going to be a market for it. So you could always be making that money down the line and purchase those nice things. But I'm gonna be honest, you're a multimillionaire and you're like, oh, like, and then like you could be like, you could have like, you know, $100 million, and then there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, oh, cars are liabilities and cars are this. Why would you buy that? Well, if you have that type of money, if you like cars, by all means, go buy the cars that you want. I'm gonna be honest, like if you can afford them, you can buy them. Buy what you want. You like Louis Vuitton bags? Cool, go buy them. Like you got the money to buy them. Like you're a millionaire. Cool. Just don't over leverage yourself. Just don't go buy 1,000 of them.
Yep.
Put yourself underwater. You know, that's what I'm saying. You just have to figure out where you can financially stay afloat and where you can't. Like if you can afford them, hey, this by all means, go buy what you want to go buy. Enjoy yourself, enjoy life. But if you're not there, you're not there. You have to take sacrifice because credit cards are so easy to swipe. You have access to a $100,000 credit limit. Ooh, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, so people have a hard time looking at those balances at the end of the month too.
Yeah. You get a $100,000 credit limit. People are like, I think that when that lady has $127,000 in credit card debt, he's just like, yes. He's like, what I'm even more astonished at is that you have over $100,000 in credit limit. It's like, so you somehow had good credit to get there.
Yeah, I mean, well, they probably saw
at one point you had it.
Well, I know that when you normally ask for a credit increase, sometimes the credit card companies ask to see like your income monthly statements. So if she provided those income statements to the car companies, if they saw, oh, her husband makes such and such, yeah, they're probably going to increase that limit because they're thinking that they can probably pay it off.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. If they're making $250,000 a year after tax, and that's I'm talking like $250,000 a year is like after taxes. That's not gross income. That's not gross income. That's like after tax income. I think. Actually, hold on a second. I actually may be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, if you're right, that's $250,000. That's crazy.
That's after taxes. I may actually not be right there. Nah, I was wrong there. So that's gross. It's gross. It's gross income, but still, it's $250,000. That's gross income. That's before taxes. I think I would know this. I'm a finance man. I work in. Should know these things. He said, "Yup, have people offer me over $20,000 for that Jeep because it's in good shape, one of a kind." Ooh, I'm not gonna lie. If you're down financially, man, I know it might be hard to part, but you know what, man? I'm not gonna lie, man. You're gonna make over $10,000 on that vehicle. Dude, I know. I think you said you don't drive it anymore, right, Mike? Man, I'm not gonna lie. It's tough, man. We don't want to part with our cars, man. As someone who likes cars, man, it's like it becomes challenging, man. We don't want to do it, but hey, you know, if we're struggling to, you know, if it's tough, you know, times are tight.
Yeah, what's more important, keeping your car or being debt free?
It's true. What you could do,
that's the question you have to ask yourself.
That's true. It's very true. Because you know what, man, you could take the extra $10,000 they're going to give you, and you could put it into investments. You could make that money back. You could double, triple, quadruple that money. You park it in the right areas, man. You know, you stand to make some money. We'll wrap up here in a couple minutes. I know we're over an hour, well above an hour, man. But I like these episodes because, you know, it generates a good discussion. I want to get a nice panel on here for some more of these future ones. My guy Ray actually said he'd love to come on the next one, but it was a little bit short notice when I tried to get him in here. So he was just getting on work. But, man, I want to generate some discussion with these. As things kind of come down, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. You know that you're gonna hear a lot. I actually, you know, I never really covered politics on here, and I'm not really gonna get too into voting for who or doing this or anything like that. But I'm not gonna lie, it is an election year, and financially, from an economic standpoint, I would maybe love to get an episode going, maybe on, like surrounding this election and stuff, and also how to stay sane throughout this election, man, because a lot of people can get crazy around this time. A lot of people are very opinionated. A lot of people are going to try to push their vote, who they're voting, or push their opinions on you. So you know what? I actually might want to generate an episode of how we can stay sane during this election too, man, because it's a lot of divisiveness inside this country right now. A lot of divisiveness.
It's going to be a tense election. Very intense.
Very intense. The last one was too. We're having another one here now, so it's. He said, "Don't got it no more. Don't got it no more. Wish I did. Got trashed and was too much to fix." Damn, man. I wish you were able to get that investment for it when you had the opportunity, man.
Yeah, car maintenance. Yeah, that's another thing that's going to kill you.
Yeah, it puts us underwater, man. That's the thing. Sometimes it's so challenging that we can't afford to repair things, man. But yeah, guys, I definitely want to get an episode as we kind of get closer. I mean, that's not until, so maybe we'll do that like next month in October. Try to get an episode surrounding maybe how to kind of stay sane throughout this election, and maybe we'll talk some things with the economic standpoint. I'm not going to get into who's voting for who or who's running. So if we have a panel on here, people can discuss who they're voting for. That's up to them. I'm not really going to get into that side of it because I just know how things can go realistically here. But let me just say, guys, no matter who you're voting for, you want to show up for the polls. You want to make sure you vote. This is a big election, guys.
Yeah, make your voices heard, man.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of economy, get to the polls, guys. Don't talk this bullshit that like you're gonna vote. Nah, you need to show up on election day and vote. Mike actually said, let me know. I'll get on the next one. Been a while. So yeah, Mike, dude, we'll get you on here. Absolutely. I haven't had you on. I think I was telling you this the other day. I haven't had you on in, I think the last time you came on was like February 2021, bro. It was like you were one of the first episodes we had on here, man. So we're talking 3.5 years ago, man. I remember I think you were just about to have your one child who's already, you told me already over 3.5 years old now. I think your girl was pregnant, and now your son is like 5 or 6. Like, yeah, what the time has flown. Time has flown. We'll get you on here, Mike. And yeah, Ray is actually Mike's cousin. That who I was talking about. Ray wants to come on too, man. So yo, Mike, we'll get you and Ray both on here. For that episode, man.
I'm sure that'd be interesting.
Yeah, Ray's his cousin, so yeah, we'll get Ray Slemmer. So Ray and Mike on here, and we'll get a nice panel. Going. I'll try to get Andrew. I'll try to get Andrew on here too, bro. Because he knows Andrew. He knows Andrew actually as well. Andrew Knight. I'll try to get Andrew on here too for this, and we'll try to set this up. Someone destroyed it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, brother. But Mike, yeah, we'll definitely get you on, man. I'll keep you in the loop a couple weeks out, so you have the notice ahead of time. Yeah, I'll definitely try to get you back in here too, Mario, and we'll set it up an episode. Maybe get Rob, Rich, some of the guys in here, and maybe even like Reagan or something. We'll see. Try to get like a nice panel. Any females out there, if you'd like to come on and this is something that interests you too, hey, the more the merrier. We can fit up to like I think 12 people in a room here, so anybody who wants to come on. 12 to 15 people we can fit in. Obviously, I want to allocate enough time for everybody to get their points across, and not try to make it too much. But it's like a first come first serve thing. We'll see. I try to get some nice voices in on here.
Yeah, that'd be a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Because things are getting kind of crazy out there, and it's a big year. And also, so we shall see. But yeah, Mary, I want to thank you for coming in tonight, man. As always, I appreciate the support, bro. I know these finance ones. I know I did promote Dante, but I think I was talking to Dante actually, guys, before this episode. He was busy with a lot of different things. So he was gonna try to make it in, but if he did, it was probably gonna be from the car. So no big deal. We still had a great discussion here. And till next time, guys. 185 we're at next week. And we're just going to keep on rolling, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. You're always welcome here. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell icon as well to turn notifications on. Releasing content every single week, either related to personal development or sports. And you don't want to miss that. If you're watching on Facebook, assuming you're already part of the group, so thank you for joining the group. Again, hit the like button, comment, whatever. It definitely helps us out with the algorithm that goes for Facebook, YouTube, any of that stuff. If you're actually listening on Spotify, make sure you download because the downloads help us out as well. Kind of gets them to push us more. So definitely hit that download button to download these episodes if there's something that interests you. And if you do comment after the live stream, don't worry, I'll get back to your comments. I always do. So that being said, guys, have a great night, great weekend. We see you next week for episode 185. Have a great night, brother. And everybody else out there, have a great night.
You too, man. Good night.
Take care. Mike said he's down, so yeah. All right, cool.